and welcome to our video review session this week for No Bones About It Puppy Day School. This week we are going to be talking about handling and grooming, which applies to all the puppies, and in terms of the obedience skills we've been working on, I would continue with kind of look through last week. Gives you a little bit of a break. I'm not going to introduce new stuff to you today. Not that we haven't been working on our things, but at least for you, go back and review. There's a lot of information, especially if you've been here for a couple weeks. So go back and pick something that you're struggling with maybe and review those videos and practice that on the weekend. So you can see here I've kind of got set up this whole little grooming table situation. I'm going to quickly go through what I have here, and then I'm going to bring each of the puppies up and just do a quick little demo for you. So I've got my table. I have a non-slip mat. You don't have to use a table. You can keep your puppy on the ground, but surface, as long as it's not slippery, is really important. Even if you go in a bathtub, if there's any way you can get some kind of rubber mat or a non-slip mat, because once it gets slippery, it's really scary for the pups. So my mat here has rubber on the bottom, so it's non-stick. I'm doing this so I can preserve my back. And I've got, in terms of grooming stuff we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about bathing. We're going to talk about quick cleaning solutions like a deodorizing spray or grooming wipes, things like that, brushes. We're going to go through teeth brushing. We're going to go through nail clipping. And I think that's it. So I think it's really easy to have a tether set up, a tie down. So you kind of need to have two hands when you're grooming your puppy. It's really hard. So either you have a helper with you or you have some kind of tie down. The other thing that I think is super important, this is called a lick mat. It's like a silicone mat. I don't know if you can see this, but I've already got it set up here. It's got little holes in it. There's different varieties of these, and some of them actually have suction cups. So if you're using like so you can stick them on a vertical surface, like a bathtub or a sink or something. You could put peanut butter in here. You could put, in addition to kibble and things like that, I have some soft cat food that I'm gonna smear in here, which helps keep the puppy totally occupied when I'm doing things that they might not love. So let's get going. I also have my hose here. I'm not actually gonna be bathing the dogs, but if I were, I would get them used to the hose a little bit. All of this is about conditioning your puppy to love this process, because you're going to need to groom them all the time. Even if you bring your dog to the groomer, if they need to be cut, they still need to be comfortable with this. You don't want it to be a source of stress.
Molly, here's my first puppy. Hi. I'm going to get her up here and get her comfortable, and then I'm going to hook up her. You can see she's immediately psyched about I'm going to hook up a harness. So again, I've got her tether, and let's just talk about brushing. So even a really short-haired dog like this, I could use a slicker brush. It's a really soft wire brush, and it gets out all the dead coat. Oh, excuse me, it's not your turn. Hi, thank you. So it gets out all the coat, gets dirt out, dander, stuff like that. So hi, oh yeah, these are probably in your way. And then let's just talk about like our quick grooming solution. Our quick grooming solution would be to use a deodorizing spray, which is really good for their coat. So again, I'm sort of holding on to her because I don't want her to go too far. And she already said, oh, I know, that was weird, wasn't it? So you see how she kind of startled when I sprayed that a little bit? That's okay. And then what I would do is I would take my brush again, once I did my grooming spray, and I would brush it all through her coat. And if it's really scary to do it on her, hi love, it's really scary because of the spray part, I might spray some on my hand. So if it's scary with the spray, I could put some on my hand. I could even spray some on my brush and then go ahead and apply it. They also have grooming wipes. They come in a pack just like this. These are actually baby wipes, but I don't use these on the dogs. I use them for cleaning my hands all the time. But they come in a pack that looks just like this. They're made by the same company, a lot of them that makes this, the Earth Bath. I'm sure there's a million companies that make them, but Earth Bath is one of the ones you'll find more commonly. So, deodorizing spray, brushing, grooming wipes. Really good way to quickly clean your puppy. Okay, now I have my friend Lucy up here. As you know, we had a really muddy day on Tuesday, and so I did a really quick bath on all the puppies that were here. And Lucy, I have to say, was one of the most, I hate this, of all the puppies. She hated it. She was screaming, she didn't love it. So I would work a lot on getting her comfortable with this. I'm gonna put this down so it doesn't scare her and knock her over. But I also wanted to just go over when I do use a shampoo. I love to take a puppy shampoo and some kind of little bucket like this, or a reusable soft squirt bottle like you would put, like if you would use for athletics or riding your bike or something like that. It's soft so you can squirt it, and fill it up with water, and then put a big squirt of this stuff in it and shake it all up. Or if you're gonna use this, I just use this. And I put my soap in here, I fill it up, and I mix it all up really well, and then I fully dilute the puppy with that. It is so hard if you put puppy shampoo right on your puppy to properly dilute it and to distribute it. So I find it's much easier to try to dilute the stuff first and then pour it on your puppy. And again, I kind of wait and do the head last because that freaks a lot of the puppies out. So the most important thing to know, hi guys, hey, walk ups. Hi. So the most important thing to think about when you are going to bathe and shampoo your puppy is the rinsing aspect. You really, the only thing that could really be a little bit tough on your puppy in terms of shampooing is that you don't get all the soap out. If there's residual soap in their coat, it's gonna affect their skin, and it's gonna be itchy, and it's not gonna feel good. So just make sure you do really thorough rinse job when you are bathing your pup. And oh, are you chewing on my rose? This is, thank you. This is an awesome tool for bathing. It's called a Zoom Groom, and it really helps get down into the coat, and it's just rubber, soft rubber, and it feels kind of good on the pups. So I love to use this when I'm shampooing the dogs, and it helps really get the lather around, spread it around. So you can continue to chew on that. So let's move on and get another pup. Okay, in contrast, Bailey was probably my number one. I love this grooming process. Was not scared at all of the hose. Didn't mind the bathing, the drying, the brushing. She was really awesome. So that's super cool. So for dogs that have a little bit longer coat, I'm always going to want to, once they're dry, okay, so don't do it when they're wet. It's better to wait till they're dry, and then do your slicker brushing first. Hi. So get your slicker brushing in first, and then you really want to use, for the dogs again with the longer coat, a fine tooth comb to really check for any gnats. So once I've done my brushing, then I'm going to go through and I'm really going to do a nice cleaning. Hey, you have a smaller puppy, you could use a smaller slicker brush like this to get around their head and their face. Hi, I know you love this. And then again, a smaller little comb. You also want to have a really fine tooth comb like this to check for fleas and ticks. If you go hiking at all, even if you're just on a regular trail, you really want to check afterwards and do a really thorough comb through because ticks are just everywhere in this area, and it's important that every time you come back in, you do a thorough check. Okay. So again, thank you, Bailey. Brought my friend Baker Lou up here, and I'm going to talk about nails. It can be really intimidating. Hi, yeah, it's not your turn. It can be really intimidating to do a dog's nails. Easier, everybody wants something that's on that lick mat. is easier if they have clear or white colored nails than it is the dark ones, because there's actually a blood supply that grows out with the nail. And so it's important that you keep up with your dogs trimming of their nails, because once they get super long, you can only trim a little bit each time, otherwise you run into that blood supply. The more that you cut the nail, the more the blood supply recedes, and then you can get the nail shorter. But don't wait till the nails are super long, because you can't just hack them back. Everybody wants to be up there. So I like to use a clipper that's this style, and when you're working, you really just want to get the puppy used to this at first, just like, oh, what is this? Pretend like you're making the sound, pick up their paw, touch it to their paw, and in the beginning, maybe just and then you want to sort of squeeze, everybody, in the beginning, you just want to squeeze the pads so you can see those nails come out, and then just do the tiniest little tip of 1 or 2 nails at a time. So this is really nice. Excuse me. This is really nice. Baker's just sort of hanging, and I'm not going to do any more because I don't have my glasses on. Old people, so it's really hard for me to get a close up. But again, if you filled this mat up with some peanut butter, you might be able to get a whole, and you could even sit on the ground for doing nails. Sit on the ground with the puppy, get them super comfortable, wait till they're super tired, and then see if you can get a couple nails done. If this is just no way I'm ever tackling this, that's okay. You can bring your puppy into the groomers and have them just do nails. It's like, I don't know, $15 or something, maybe 20. Your vet will do it too, but they're gonna charge you a lot more. So you could just go in for a quick nail clip, which is what I do with my dogs, because he doesn't love it. It takes him 3 seconds, and it takes me like half an hour, and I just don't have the patience. So for me, it's worth the money. And I usually do all my bathing and other grooming here at the house, so I'll just run them in and have them do my nails. So good job for letting me try a couple little nail clips there, Mr. Baker. Now we are going to talk about teeth brushing. And I don't have my toothpaste up here, but you are going to get a doggy-specific toothpaste. You're going to get a dog toothbrush. I like these ones that are double-ended, has a bit of a fatter end and then a skinnier end on one side. And again, in terms of just getting your puppy accustomed to this feeling, you might, and this is a little bit hard to do with the lick stick. And by the way, you could start off with something that's not even a dog toothpaste. You could start off with something that's like a soft little treat and put it on the toothbrush. Hi, what's this? What's that? And just let your puppy kind of, investigate the brush. They're gonna try to chomp on it, but that's okay. And then I just get the puppy used to sort of the feeling of like, what is it like when I put my toothbrush back there under gums? Hello, excuse me. And eventually I just want to be able to sort of lift up their gums. This is going to be hard for you to see, but I'm sure there's some really good videos on YouTube of people brushing their puppy's teeth. So again, sort of lifting up the lips and just sort of rubbing that all back in the gums. And I can even do it while this puppy is chewing on the slick mat. He doesn't even seem to care. He's busy licking, and I'm doing this one side, and then we could sort of switch over. And thank you, Petey, and switch over to the other side. So how often should you do this? As often as you can. There's also a dental rinse that is called, it has chlorhexidine in it, and I'll list some of these things so you can see what they look like. A dental rinse is really good to use often as well, especially if your puppy doesn't love the teeth brushing. You could use this little rinse. It is not the ones that you're gonna buy at the store that are called like for good breath and things like that. And it's not enough to give your dog chews that are for good breath and teeth. You really do need to keep at the teeth maintenance. It will prolong you having to do a full dental cleaning, which is massively expensive. You will need to do it at some point in your dog's lives as they get older. But here's the deal: if you're really good at brushing your teeth, you can put that off so much longer. And it's like, I'm not even going to quote it, but it's probably, they have to anesthetize your dog. It's like $700-800 minimum, probably. So just make sure that that you are at this stage of the game getting your puppy really used to having their mouth handled. The other thing I didn't bring up is ear cleaning. Some puppies are way more inclined to get stinky, dirty ears and ear infections, in which case you might want to talk to your vet about an ear rinse, having to do an ear rinse. But again, just handling your puppies, getting them used to being poked and prodded and touched all over, so that when you need to do this grooming, it's not such a big deal. Thank you very much. You can see how this thing is a lifesaver. Everyone loves this.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Petey.
Two things that I didn't mention. One, I love this thing. It's a grooming glove. I use this with my dog Chaz when after grooming spray and after brushing, just to get all that last coat off. This is also a good one for like Molly, for the really soft, short-coated dogs. So it just has these little nubbies on it, and the puppies tend to like it. It's just like getting pet. So grooming glove is cool. Last thing I would have for all my doodles, everybody that is gonna need a grooming cuts at some point, is a pair of grooming scissors that has a blunt end on it. And these are just a couple bucks. You can get them at the store or Amazon, whatever. And a comb, and I like this really short comb for this. And you can just do quick little stuff around their eyes to keep their fur from growing super long in between going to the groomer. So again, super helpful if you have a helper that can be treating your puppy or feeding them good things. Just brush up that fur above their eyes, hold it like you would, at the hair cutting place, and then just quickly do a little snip. So all of this stuff takes practice. So that you get good and comfortable and efficient, but also that your puppy gets used to being handled. Again, teeth, nails, bathing, brushing, grooming, all of that kind of stuff, so important. Cleaning the paws when it's wet, coming in and making sure that they're used to being wiped down, so that that's not a big deal for them. They're not biting at you and rolling over and doing all that kind of stuff. And this will also help with vet visits, making sure that your puppy is super confident and comfortable when people are touching them. So do not discount how important it is to try to work in some of these little things, as often as you can. But at least once or twice a week, try to just sit with your puppy when they're tired. I just keep all my grooming stuff in a little bag so that I can carry it around. I can come upstairs, I can go out to the deck. I carry everything in here, and then I just sit down with my puppy and I work on this stuff. When it's sunny and they're nice and tired and I want to just relax with them, it's it's also great for bonding. So I want you guys to concentrate. If you have any questions about any of the tools that I use, again, I will try to list a lot of them. Otherwise, have a great weekend. We'll see you soon.